Today we're diving into a hot topic. Could Zcash or ZEC realistically reach $1,000 by the end of 2025? This is a question that's been circulating among crypto enthusiasts and investors alike. To answer it, we'll break down the key factors that could drive such a price surge, the major obstacles standing in the way, and what the probabilities really look like. Let's start by exploring what would need to happen for ZEC to make such a dramatic leap in value. First and foremost, for Zcash to hit $1,000, we need to see a massive rally across the entire cryptocurrency market. This means not just Bitcoin but also major altcoins would need to experience significant price increases, think 5 to 10 times their current values. Such a rally could be sparked by institutional money flowing in, a new alt season, or even regulatory clarity that boosts investor confidence. In this scenario, privacy coins like Zcash could become especially attractive if privacy and regulation become dominant themes. Privacy coins such as Zcash often gain renewed attention when issues of privacy and regulation are at the forefront of the crypto conversation. If regulatory discussions start favoring privacy, or if there's a backlash against surveillance, ZEC could see a surge in demand. This is especially true if Bitcoin and other major coins are rallying, as investors may look for alternative assets that offer unique features like privacy. Beyond a general market rally, Zcash would need its own unique catalyst to stand out. This could include major protocol upgrades, new use cases for its shielded or zero-knowledge proof technology, or even a significant partnership or listing on a major exchange. If Zcash becomes the go-to privacy asset due to these developments, it could attract a new wave of users and investors. Regulation is a double-edged sword for privacy coins. If governments around the world become more tolerant or even supportive of privacy-focused cryptocurrencies, Zcash could benefit immensely. On the other hand, if there's a regulatory crackdown, it could limit ZEC's growth. So any positive regulatory news could serve as a powerful catalyst for price appreciation. Zcash to reach $1,000, its market capitalization would need to expand dramatically. With millions of coins in circulation, a $1,000 price tag implies a huge market cap, much larger than what we see today. Investors would need to have confidence in Zcash's liquidity and be willing to support such a high valuation. This also means ZEC would be exposed to greater risks from macroeconomic and regulatory shocks. Sum up the bullish scenario. Zcash would need a perfect storm of a broad crypto bull market, a Zcash-specific catalyst, and strong investor appetite for large-cap privacy coins. If all these stars align, reaching $1,000 isn't strictly impossible. However, the odds of everything coming together perfectly are quite slim, especially within a short time frame. Now let's look at what the experts are saying. Most analysts and mainstream forecasts for Zcash in 2025 are far more conservative. Many project ZEC's priced to be somewhere between $40 and $100, with some optimistic scenarios going as high as $500 or $600. These numbers are a far cry from the $1,000 target, reflecting the general skepticism in the market. For instance, one forecast suggests an average price of around $63.32 for ZEC in 2025. Others see a potential high of $500 to $600 in the most optimistic scenarios. There's even a forecast that puts ZEC at just $85 by the end of 2025. None of these mainstream projections anticipate a tenfold increase from current levels within such a short period. Let's put the numbers into perspective. If ZEC is currently trading around $630, reaching $1,000 would require a 60% increase from today's price. While that might sound achievable, most forecasts expect much more modest growth. The jump to $1,000 would also require a much larger market cap and a significant expansion of the investor base, both of which seem unlikely in the current environment. $1,000 price for Zcash would mean its total market capitalization would soar to levels that are currently reserved for the very largest cryptocurrencies. This would require not just more buyers, but also a significant increase in liquidity and trading volume. Without these, sustaining such a high price would be extremely difficult. Privacy coins like Zcash have historically faced regulatory scrutiny, which can limit their adoption by institutions and restrict their listings on major exchanges. If the broader crypto market stalls, or if Bitcoin continues to dominate while altcoins lag, ZEC could struggle to gain traction. These risks make the path to $1,000 even more challenging. Another major obstacle is the short time frame. The end of 2025 isn't far away, and large price moves in the crypto market usually take time to develop. Most forecasts assume moderate growth over the next 2 to 3 quarters, rather than an explosive jump. This makes a rapid ascent to $1,000 even less likely. Given the current market dynamics and the historical performance of Zcash, most analysts expect only modest growth in the near future. Explosive price jumps are rare and usually require a combination of favorable factors that are hard to predict. As a result, the consensus is that ZEC will likely remain well below the $1,000 mark by the end of 2025. What's the most likely outcome for Zcash by the end of 2025? The base case scenario suggests that ZEC will end up somewhere in the $400 to $700 range, or possibly even lower depending on how the market evolves. This range reflects the cautious optimism of analysts who see some potential for growth, but not the kind of explosive rally needed to reach $1,000. A more optimistic or bull case scenario, Zcash could potentially reach $800 to $900 if all the right conditions align. This would require a strong market rally, positive regulatory developments, and significant adoption of Zcash's technology. Even in this best-case scenario, however, $1,000 remains a stretch and would require everything to go perfectly. When we weigh all the evidence, the probability of Zcash reaching $1,000 by the end of 2025 appears quite low. Estimates suggest there's only about a 5–10% chance of hitting that ambitious target. In other words, while it's not impossible, it's definitely not the most likely outcome given the current landscape. On the flip side, the probability that Zcash will fail to reach $1,000 by the end of 2025 is very high, around 90–95%. This reflects the many challenges facing privacy coins, the need for a massive market rally, and the short time frame. Most investors and analysts are betting on more moderate outcomes. If you're tracking Zcash closely, there are several key things to watch. Major ecosystem or catalyst events such as protocol upgrades, new partnerships, or regulatory news favoring privacy coins could all impact ZEC's price. Staying informed about these developments will help you gauge the likelihood of any significant price movement. It's also important to monitor the broader crypto market. Bitcoin's trend, institutional flows, and altcoin rallies can all influence Zcash's performance. If the overall market is bullish, ZEC could benefit, but if the market turns bearish, it could struggle to gain ground. Another factor to keep an eye on is ZEC's liquidity and its presence on major exchanges. High liquidity and widespread listings make it easier for investors to buy and sell Zcash, which can support higher prices. Conversely, if liquidity dries up or exchanges delist ZEC, it could put downward pressure on the price. Tracking the activity of large holders or whales can provide valuable insights into Zcash's price prospects. If whales are accumulating ZEC, it could signal confidence in the coin's future. On the other hand, if they're selling, it might indicate a lack of faith in a major price rally. Regulatory news can have a major impact on privacy coins like Zcash. If governments crack down on privacy-focused cryptocurrencies, it could hurt ZEC's price. Conversely, if regulators become more tolerant or even adopt privacy coins, it could provide a significant boost. Technical levels are another important aspect to monitor. If ZEC breaks through key resistance levels with high trading volume, it could signal the start of a breakout. Technical analysis can help traders identify potential entry and exit points, as well as gauge the strength of any price movements. High trading volume often accompanies significant price moves. If ZEC sees a surge in volume as it approaches key resistance levels, it could indicate strong buying interest and the potential for a breakout. On the flip side, low volume may suggest a lack of conviction among traders. Major developments within the Zcash ecosystem, such as new partnerships, integrations, or technological advancements, can have a significant impact on price. Keeping an eye on the project's roadmap and upcoming announcements can help you stay ahead of potential catalysts. Protocol upgrades can enhance Zcash's functionality, security, and appeal to users. If the team rolls out major improvements, it could attract new users and investors, potentially driving up demand for ZEC. However, upgrades also come with risks such as technical issues or community disagreements. One of Zcash's unique selling points is its shielded, zero-knowledge proof technology. If more projects or users adopt this technology for privacy and security, it could boost ZEC's value proposition and increase demand. Widespread adoption would be a strong bullish signal. Getting listed on major exchanges can significantly increase Zcash's visibility and accessibility. New listings often lead to price spikes as more investors gain access to the coin. However, regulatory concerns can sometimes prevent privacy coins from being listed on certain platforms. Institutional investors can have a major impact on cryptocurrency prices. If institutions start showing interest in privacy coins like Zcash, it could drive significant inflows and boost the price. However, regulatory uncertainty often keeps institutions on the sidelines. Clear and supportive regulations can open the door for greater adoption of privacy coins. If regulators provide guidance that allows privacy coins to operate within legal frameworks, it could encourage more investors and institutions to get involved with Zcash. On the other hand, a regulatory crackdown could severely limit Zcash's growth prospects. Bans or restrictions on privacy coins could lead to delistings, reduced liquidity, and a loss of investor confidence. This is a key risk to keep in mind when considering ZEC's future. Broader macroeconomic factors such as interest rates, inflation, and global economic conditions can also influence the crypto market. If these factors are favorable, they could support a general rally in digital assets, including Zcash. However, negative macro trends could have the opposite effect. Bitcoin often sets the tone for the entire crypto market. If Bitcoin enters a strong bull phase, it can lift altcoins like Zcash along with it. However, if Bitcoin dominates and altcoins lag, ZEC may not see the gains needed to approach $1,000. An altcoin season where alternative cryptocurrencies outperform Bitcoin could provide a significant boost to Zcash. During these periods, investor attention shifts to smaller coins with unique features, and privacy coins often benefit from this trend. Investor sentiment plays a crucial role in driving price movements. Positive news, strong community engagement, and bullish market trends can all contribute to a surge in demand for Zcash. Conversely, negative sentiment can lead to sell-offs and price declines. Low liquidity can make it difficult for large investors to enter or exit positions without impacting the price. If Zcash's liquidity remains limited, it could cap potential price gains and increase volatility. High liquidity, on the other hand, supports more stable price movements. Large holders or whales can have a disproportionate impact on Zcash's price. If a few big players decide to buy or sell large amounts of ZEC, it can lead to sharp price swings. Monitoring whale activity can provide early warning signs of potential volatility. A strong and active community along with ongoing development can help sustain interest in Zcash. Community-driven projects, developer engagement, and transparent communication from the team all contribute to the long-term success of the project. Zcash isn't the only privacy coin on the market. Competition from other projects such as Monero can impact ZEC's market share and price potential. Keeping an eye on the broader privacy coin landscape is important for understanding Zcash's prospects. Continued innovation in privacy technology can help Zcash maintain its edge. If the team introduces new features or improves scalability and security, it could attract more users and investors. Staying ahead of the curve is crucial in the fast-moving crypto space. Media coverage can have a powerful impact on investor perception and price action. Positive stories about Zcash's technology, partnerships, or regulatory wins can drive new interest, while negative press can have the opposite effect. Looking beyond 2025, Zcash's long-term prospects will depend on its ability to adapt to changing market conditions, regulatory environments, and technological advancements. While a $1,000 price tag may be out of reach in the near term, continued development and adoption could set the stage for future growth. Recap: Zcash faces significant hurdles on the path to $1,000 by the end of 2025. While it's not impossible, the odds are low given current market conditions, regulatory risks, and the short time frame. Most forecasts expect more moderate growth, with a base case in the $400-700 range. Staying informed and monitoring key developments will be essential for anyone tracking ZEC's journey. Conclusion: while the dream of Zcash reaching $1,000 by the end of 2025 captures the imagination, the reality is far more complex. Multiple factors would need to align perfectly, and the probability remains low. However, the crypto market is full of surprises, and staying vigilant is always wise. Keep an eye on the trends and remember to make informed decisions based on the latest data.